So I saw this interesting headline today about Paytm, and it seems like they're making some moves in Brazil, or at least their subsidiary is. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I did. It's about Paytm Cloud Technologies, their subsidiary, acquiring a 25% stake in this US based company called Seven Technology LLC for about $1 million, which actually is about 8.7 crore rupees. So,
Right. And Seven Technology LLC, they're the parent company of Dyne, a Brazilian embedded finance startup. That's quite a mouthful, isn't it?
it is, yeah. Dyne is their key piece there. They provide digital financial services to small and medium sized businesses, MSMEs, in Brazil through an API first approach. It's like a building block for other platforms.
Hmm. Okay, so it's not Paytm going directly into Brazil, but more like a strategic investment through this cloud tech subsidiary.
Exactly. It's a way for them to test the waters, understand the merchant landscape in Brazil, and see if their model can be replicated there. It's like trying a new recipe, but just tasting it first before making a big batch.
That makes sense. I mean, they've had quite a run in India, so it makes sense to look at similar markets. Is this like a big move for Paytm financially, or is it more of a strategic thing?
Well, the investment itself isn't massive at $1 million, but the potential impact seems strategic. Dini's turnover for 2024 was around 357,920 BRL, which isn't much in itself, but it's the access and growth potential that likely interests Paytm.
So it's more about the future opportunities then, like laying the groundwork for potential expansion.
Precisely. It's about the long game, understanding that market, similar to building up a chessboard before making major moves, if you will. This is more about exploring opportunities rather than immediate returns.
Okay, and I noticed it said something about associate entities. What does it mean in this context?
Well, it basically means that after the deal closes, Seven Technology LLC and Dyne will be associated with Paytm, but not necessarily under their full control, since they only own a 25% stake. It's like having a partner who's invested in the company's future success.
Gotcha. So not a full acquisition. This seems different from their usual approach.
Yes, it's a minority stake, which indicates a more cautious approach, maybe to mitigate risk while still exploring opportunities, like a pilot program before a full launch.
Ah, right. And this is all happening through their cloud technologies arm, right?
Yep, Paytm Cloud Technologies Limited is the vehicle they're using for this investment. They're handling the transaction, and it's all in line with their broader strategy, I assume.
Okay, interesting. And how quickly are they expecting this acquisition to finalize?
The document mentions within 45 days, so it's a fairly quick turnaround for closing the deal. It's almost like they already had all their ducks in a row, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, that's quite fast, it seems. So what about the financial side? Did the stock market react at all?
Actually, yes. The Paytm stock price jumped about 5% after the announcement, reaching 782.82 rupees on the Bombay Stock Exchange. Investors seem to like this expansion move.
Well, that's a nice boost for them, especially after some volatility lately.
Exactly. The stock had fallen 21% in a month, but has had a 60% return over the past year. This move seems to have instilled confidence in investors.
So this Brazilian move might help them stabilize, maybe even grow their stock value further.
Potentially, yes. It signals that they're not just resting on their laurels, but actively seeking growth and expansion in different markets. It shows their long term vision, like a ship charting a new course to expand their reach.
Right, that makes sense. And they're focusing on MSMEs in Brazil. Is that a big market over there?
It is a sizable market, yes. MSMEs are critical for the Brazilian economy, and Dini's tech is geared towards helping these businesses with digital financial solutions. It's like supporting the backbone of their economy.
That's a smart move then. Focusing on a key demographic instead of trying a more general approach.
Exactly. And this aligns with Paytm's own success with small merchants in India. It's a model they understand and are hoping can translate well in Brazil.
Okay, so similar strategies in similar markets, but with a few tweaks maybe?
Precisely. They're not just copying and pasting, but adapting to the Brazilian context using a measured approach. It's about understanding the differences before making big bets.
Right, and I see they also mention a bit about no regulatory approvals needed. That must make things easier, right?
Yes, not having to deal with lengthy regulatory hurdles certainly speeds up the process and simplifies the whole thing. It's like a clear road with no traffic lights, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. So, just to clarify, they're buying into Seven Technology, which owns Diny in Brazil.
That's right. They are buying a 25% stake in Seven Technology LLC. Dini is just a subsidiary of the company, which is the operational arm in Brazil, actually.
Okay, that clears it up. So, no related party transactions involved, right? The document mentioned something about that.
Yes, that's also correct. It's not considered a related party transaction, which means they're buying it at arm's length. That adds to the transparency of the deal, making things all nice and clean, as they say.
Right. So, a good move overall, it seems. I mean, it's like they're exploring new frontiers while still, keeping their core business in focus.
Absolutely, this kind of calculated risk taking is essential for growth. They're leveraging their existing expertise and expanding it in a new market strategically.
It's interesting how they're going international, that's for sure. Now, just a friendly reminder to all our listeners, if you like this content, do give us a like and subscribe to our channel.
Yes, please do. It helps us out tremendously. Anyway, about the Paytm deal, it's also worth noting that this is a cash transaction. They're not swapping shares or anything like that.
Ah, okay. So straightforward cash investment. Makes sense. And it's for 1 million USD, right?
Correct, 1 million USD, which is about 8.7 crore rupees, like we mentioned earlier. And that gets them a 25% stake on a fully diluted basis.
So that's the whole picture for this acquisition. It's quite a strategic step for them.
Indeed, and as we've seen with these types of deals, it's crucial to also be mindful of your financial decisions. Disclaimer, we advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions.
Absolutely. Always good to be prudent. Now, any thoughts on what this means for the future of Paytm?
Well, this move might be a sign of more international expansions to come, or it could just be a one-off deal to test their strategy. Either way, it will be interesting to see how this pans out for them in Brazil.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, are they going to replicate this model in other countries, or is Brazil the final frontier,
Exactly, and that's what we'll have to watch closely. It's a bit like opening a new chapter. And, well, we have to see where this story goes.